Hello, I'm Hailianna Grace and welcome to my channel. Today I will be guiding you through a slow yoga for hips flow. You will not need any props for today's class, and whenever you're ready, come and meet me on your mat. To begin in today's class, we'll come down onto our backs, lying flat. Take however long you need to adjust your shoulders so they're down away from your ears. And whenever you're ready, you can bring one knee into the chest and then the other, giving yourself a gentle hug. Maybe swaying side to side a little bit, giving your low back a massage. And as you're ready, we'll extend to the left leg, straighten down, keeping the right knee hugged in, holding it with our hands. And you can just relax that left foot, just letting it relax there. We'll start to warm up the hips by drawing some circles with our right knee. And we can start to tune into the breath now and look inwards, noticing how your hips are feeling today. Maybe they feel really tight. And you can reverse the circles, start drawing them the other way. And throughout today's class, we'll breathe in and out through our nose as long as it's comfortable for you. And when you're ready, you can extend the right leg down, bringing the left knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. Relax that right foot and that right leg and start to draw circles with the left knee. Just really warming up the hips now. Taking full breaths, starting to expand the breath here. And we can start to draw the circles the other way. Hips classes are always my favorite. I love working on my hip flexibility. And as you're ready, you can extend both legs out and down and maybe shake the legs a little bit. Just warming up the legs. And now you can plant your feet about hips width apart. And we'll take the right ankle over the left thigh, left knee area. And you're going to inhale, lift that left foot off the ground and reach through with your right hand through the hole that your shin is making. And you're going to clasp hold of your hands on the shin or the back of the left thigh. And we're going to flex in this right foot a lot through all four corners of it, never letting it flop around because we want to keep that right knee nice and safe. So keep that right foot flexed. And you can just take some deep breaths here, in and out through the nose, wherever you are. This reclined pigeon pose is one of my favorites. Just breathing into your hips, feeling that nice stretch. And as you're ready, you can unclasp the hands, let it go, bring the right foot back down onto the mat, and we'll bring the left ankle now over the right thigh and knee. Flexing in that left foot, you can lift the right foot off the mat, reach through that little hole with your left hand, and just hugging, taking deep breaths, really relaxing. Trying to focus on that area you feel right now that is tight and softening. Remember to keep that left foot flexed. And when you're ready, you can release it and start to press yourself up, or you can start to rock yourself up, grabbing hold of your knees, and until you come up, we're going to come into our plank pose from here. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Coming into your plank. And we're going to do some cobras. So come down onto your belly however you need to, however is most comfortable for you. Letting the knees come down and then lowering down completely. Untucking the toes, press the tops of your feet into your mat. So much so that your kneecaps are lifting. And we'll inhale, our heart and hands lift. Exhale, lower down. And we're going to do a different cobra now. Try out a different variation because we usually do the heart and hands lift one on my channel. So we're going to widen our hands out as a little bit wider than our mat, coming up onto our fingertips, really keep engaging in those legs. And we're going to inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, lower. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, rise. Keep pressing into the tops of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Last one. And exhale, lower down. Plant the palms, curl the back toes under, and gently press yourself up into your downward facing dog. First downward dog of the day. Feet are hips distance apart. Ears are in line with your biceps. Bend in the knees. Adjust yourself as you need to, widening in the fingertips, pressing into the knuckle sides of the hands. And you can pedal out the legs here, feeling into your hamstrings, taking your dog for a walk. Really trying to stay long in the spine. So bending in the knees as much as you need to here. And don't forget your breath. Inhale, we're going to come to a stillness and lift our right leg straight up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip, squeeze that right heel to the right glute, really opening the hip here. And we'll draw some circles now with the knee. Just really stretching out our hips, really getting into them, really warming them up. We don't want to get too extreme, too fast. Start it off nice and slow, and you can draw circles the opposite way now. Really squeezing the heel to the glute, and this might burn a little bit. It's burning a little for me. Getting a bit of a strengthening workout right here. And as you're ready, straighten that leg out, strong, back. And on your next out breath, we're going to bring that right foot in between the hands, stepping or carrying it. And you can let that left knee come down onto the mat, untucking the back toes, coming into our Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Inhale the arms up, pressing into all 4 corners of that right foot, really staying strong. We're not sinking into this low lunge. We're still lifting out and keeping our ribs nice and straight, our stomach nice and flat here, keeping alignment as best as you can. Shoulders are relaxed. And you can take a few deep breaths. You can always adjust that right knee so it's over your right ankle. Squeezing the inner thighs towards one another to keep your balance. This is a nice pose to have at the beginning of our class to really get into the hips. Deep breath in through the nose. and out through the nose. Inhale, we'll straighten that front leg, flex in that right foot, and come down to fold over that right leg, keeping a slight bend in that front knee, or maybe a generous bend wherever you're at. Respect your body and listen. Flexing through that right front foot. Few more breaths here. Inhale, bend in that front knee. You can sink a little bit and feel that left psoas muscle right here, really stretching. And plant the palms. Press into the back toes. You're curling the toes under, and we'll step back into plank. And you can take your vinyasa here or do cobra again. If your back feels warm enough, take your chaturanga and your upward dog. Leaning forward, lowering into chaturanga, and inhaling into your upward facing dog. Wherever you're at, we'll all meet in our downward dog. Pedaling out the legs a little bit. Maybe the right leg feels a little bit different than the left. And as you're ready, inhale, lift that left leg straight up and back, bend the knee, open the hip. Squeezing that left heel to the left glute. And we'll draw some circles now. Just warming up the other side. And you can start to draw circles the other way. And if you're really, really squeezing the heel to the glute, you'll feel a burn. Really trying to lift that knee to point to the sky. And as you're ready, straighten and lift that left leg, and on your exhale, we'll come down, stepping that left foot or carrying it between your hands and letting that right knee drop onto the mat, untucking the back toes. As you're ready, set yourself up, left knee over left ankle, arms up, low lunge. Remember, we're not sinking and letting our low back bend a lot. We're wanting to lift up and out of this, keeping the belly up and in. The ribs are in as if you're wearing a corset, I like to say. Arms are up, shoulders are soft, and you're just squeezing those thighs together. That's really where the work is coming mainly from, to keep your balance in this pose. A few more deep breaths. All right, good work. We'll inhale, straighten the front leg, flex in that left foot, and come down to fold over that left leg. Remember, slight bend in the front knee and flexing through all four corners of that left foot. You can inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold. Staying here for a couple more breaths before we move on. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Feel that nice stretch in the front of your right psoas, front of your right thigh. Feeling that stretch. And you can plant the palms, hands frame the foot, and step that left foot back to meet the right. Plank pose, lower down chaturanga, upward facing dog, or you can lower down completely and do those little cobra things. And we'll all meet in our downward dog. And hopefully the legs feel nice and warmed up now, but we will do another stretch before we get into a more fiery version of our flow. So we'll take our feet about as wide as the mat, but turn your toes out. So they're kind of turning wider and out, maybe touching the floor off your mat. And we're going to sink our hips down as if we're squatting. You're going to really want to widen those knees, squeeze your glutes, squeeze them to the midline. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, squat, bending down, really getting into the hips in a different way than you may usually feel. Inhale, straightening. We'll do that 3 more times. Exhale, squatting down, really widening the knees out. Inhale, straightening. Exhale, lower. Squeeze those glutes. And we'll do our last one together. Exhale, squatting. And inhale, straighten. Good work. And you can take a vinyasa now or just stay in your down dog before we move on. I know a lot of us like to take a little extra flow where you can get it. Get that extra chaturanga in, the extra burn. And we'll meet in down dog once more. Inhale your right leg straight up and back. And exhale, step or carry that right foot through to the spot between your hands. You're going to widen onto the side of that left foot. You're pressing into the outer edge of that foot. And your right heel is going to bisect the left middle arch of your foot. And as you're ready, inhale, you're coming into your warrior 2 pose. Right knee over right ankle, making sure that your stance is nice and comfortable. And then as you're ready, opening your arms out wide into this T shape, gazing over the front right fingers, bend in that knee a little deeper. Virabhadrasana 2. Deep breaths, really make sure your torso is above your tailbone. You're not reaching forward too much. Make sure you're nice and aligned. Inhale, reach forward to go back, reverse warrior. Reach through those right fingertips to the back of the room. Bend in that front knee a little more. Inhale, come forward. We're going to reach our side angle. Rest that right forearm on the right thigh as you reach through your left fingertips. And you have an option to stay here or lower your fingertips down. You can stay here or take a full bind. You're going to reach back over your back with the left hand and under your right thigh with your right. And maybe you can clasp your hands in this warrior 2 bind. Taking a few breaths here. This is a real burner. Really try to press into that back foot. And as you're ready, coming back up into warrior 2. We'll exhale, windmill the arms down, hands framing the foot, and step it back. Take your flow, or you can even take a child's pose here if you're wanting to. We will all meet in down dog in a few breaths. That right leg is probably feeling a little worked right now, so if you want, you can walk your dog a little more, maybe a little faster, just kind of shaking the legs out. We'll take a few breaths before doing the other side. And as you're ready, come into down dog if you aren't already. And we'll inhale the left leg straight up and back. Exhale, step or carry that left foot through to the spot between your hands, coming onto the side of that right foot, left heel bisecting the right arch, left knee over left ankle. And as you're ready, inhale, coming into your warrior two now, making sure that the torso is right above the tailbone, really making sure our alignment is good here. And extending the arms out, gazing over the left fingertips, bend in that left knee a little more. And we'll reach forward to go back, reverse warrior, reaching to the back of the mat with our left fingertips. Bend in that front knee a little more. And we'll inhale, side angle. Your left forearm comes onto the thigh, reach with your right fingertips to the front of the mat. And you can stay here or reach your fingertips down and to touch the mat. Or you can take that bind, reaching with your left arm under the left thigh, reaching your right arm back over your back and clasping with the hands. You can take a few breaths here in this bind, really pressing into the feet, not sinking onto that left thigh. A few deep breaths. I know it's hard. You got this. And we'll inhale, release the bind if you have it. Come back into your warrior two. And exhale, hands frame the foot. Come back into your plank. Take a flow, child's pose, wherever you're at. Coming into down dog whenever you're ready. And we'll all meet in down dog now. We'll start to slow our practice down. Inhale your right leg straight up and back. And exhale, set yourself up for your pigeon pose, bringing your right knee behind the right wrist. Letting that right foot go wherever it naturally goes. Take a few breaths with your back nice and straight. And if you'd like, you can stay here or lower down. Just starting to slow our heart down. Starting to just soften after that bit of hard work. Breathing into the hips here. And as you're ready, gently start to press yourself up, curl the back toes under, come back into your down dog, and you can take your last vinyasa here or skip it, coming into plank, chaturanga, up dog. We'll inhale our left leg straight up and back. And set yourself up for pigeon on the left side, left knee behind left wrist. Let that foot go wherever it naturally does. Staying tall for a moment. And if you'd like, you can fold. As you're ready, start to press yourself up. And instead of going into our downward dog, we're going to shift our weight onto that left thigh and bring our right leg forward. And we're going to come into Gomukhasana, bringing our right knee over our left to cross. The feet are at the same spot on either side, making a nice line here. Lengthen out through your spine, and this might feel intense enough for you. You can stay here, grounding into both sits bones. Or maybe you fold forward. And you can start to sit up straight if you are folded. And we're going to do a bit of a fun transition into doing the other side of this with the left knee over the right. You're going to open towards the left. Use your hands to lift yourself up, turn, and come onto the other side. And it's okay if it's not the smoothest. And if you don't want to do that transition, it's totally fine. Just bring your left knee over the right and align the feet, grounding into the mat, into the earth with both sits bones, sitting tall, and maybe staying here. You can, on your exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sit up tall if you were folded. And we'll come to lay down once more, like when we started our practice today. Come to lie flat. And you can bring both knees into your chest to give yourself a hug and rock gently side to side a little bit. And you can take your happy baby pose, widening the legs out, grabbing hold of the ankles or the feet, or maybe you use your 2 fingers, your first 2 fingers, to wrap around your big toe, letting the elbows press into the inner knees, widening out, grounding your low back onto the mat. Deep breaths here. Maybe a rock side to side. And whenever you're ready, bring the knees back together and extend one leg and then the other. Moving into our Shavasana pose, final pose of the day, letting the arms come down, along your sides with the palms face up. Let the feet fall away from one another. And just let everything go. Feel your whole body just soften. The spot between your brow, your jaw, your eyes. And we'll be in this Shavasana for 10 full breaths. As you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing some movement back into your body, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your knees into your chest and gently fall to the right, using your right forearm as a pillow. You can start to press yourself up, coming back into a cross-legged seat. And you can bring your palms to touch at heart center, dipping your chin. Start to blink the eyes open and come back into the room. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. From my heart to yours, namaste.